Hello everyone, good day. I'm going to get to part 2 of Zelda Minish Cap today. That intro song was my Vaporwave song, which I put out about 2 months ago, called Peace Will Come in the Morning. So let me see. Pretty sure I used save states. Yeah, okay. Oh good, that's already... Usually it takes a minute for OBS to actually render the game. But yeah, I got to Dungeon 2 yesterday and haven't played through it yet. So this is the second dungeon that of 6, if you include the final one. And this is my talking hat. I'm pretty sure that's the map or the compass. I don't need it. But I'll grab it. Hello. Hello, honey. Yes, this is my talking hat. His name is Eslo. And he's calling me lazy. So Eslo is... he was a Minish wizard. Minish are tiny people. And he was transformed into a hat by another Minish wizard called Vati. And Vati has also cursed the princess and turned her into stone, so we naturally must save her. This must be what the humans who built this mine used to get around in here. Maybe we should hop in. What? After all this, you don't expect me to believe that you're scared? Come on, there's nothing to be afraid of here. Let's go. And naturally, he blames us. That was awful. Hey kid, what are you smiling about? I knew it was madness to risk our lives in that rickety human contraption. No, let's just stick to our feet. Well, I mean, your feet. It really is. I love the sprite work in this game. This was the first Game Boy Advance game I ever saw, shown to me by my oldest brother. And the graphics just blew me away because I'd only seen up until that point Game Boy and Game Boy Color. And I'm like, wow, this is so realistic. How interesting. So there was a portal hidden away here. So one of the things that Eslo, my hat, does is, since he's a wizard and I jump on these portals, I can press R to shrink, and I become a Minish myself. I guess Link. And so now I'm tiny, and can fit through places that I couldn't before. And if I come to another portal like this, I can grow. Let's see. Well, need to watch what I'm doing first. And as usual, I forgot to silence my phone before stream. So that's the map. I frankly don't need it because I've played this game so many times. There's a kinstone piece, which are sort of trade items in this game. Now, falling in lava is usually not a good idea. But, of course, we need the hat to tell us that. You'll see something funny that this hat can do in this room. Because he functions not only as a hat and a wizard, but also as a paraglider of sorts. Completely logical. This whole detour from that minecart room is just to get this key. Now, I remember back in the day watching the speedruns of this and them saying, you know, if we could find a way to skip this key, it would save a lot of time. But now they actually use the not pressure plate, the stand that key is on to glitch their way through this dungeon. I always enjoy watching the speedruns of the games that I beat, just to know, you know, the extra stuff that they do. It's usually pretty fascinating. I actually have tried speedrunning before, but my problem is that I'm, like, way too prone for anxiety. And I start doubting myself, and then I get more anxious because I'm messing up more. And so I kind of have to work on, you know, Zen before I can really pull that off. And that's the same reason I don't really play any horror games. Can't seem to get a spin attack off. Now, I have done one or two, like, speedrunning of sorts things. Yep, little silver choo-choos. And this is the Cane of Pachi. Back in the day, I played Link's Awakening and timed myself to see how fast I could get to the final boss. And imperfect, it was 2 minutes flat. So this Cane of Pachi, you can flip things over. And you can also put a little beam in these holes so you can flip out of them. Oh yeah, duh, I need a key. The way I get that is with this. I hope you can hear me alright. I turned the audio of the game, like, way down because I just have a naturally quiet voice. And I've got my voice on OBS literally as high as it can go. The game is a little quiet. Okay, I can up that. Let's see how that goes. I really appreciate the feedback. So this dungeon has, I think, my favorite boss in the game. Most of the bosses are pretty, standard for Zelda. But I just like how this one looks. I believe it was one of the ones that my brother showed me when he was initially showing me the game. Which, of course, this was around 2010. He wasn't showing me on an actual Game Boy, he had an emulator and such. But I'm fine to emulate the game because I actually own the game as well. Although, I bought it on my Wii U, and probably 2017, my dad accidentally spilled Crystal Light, which is kind of like a drink powder, not quite Gatorade, but of that vein. He spilled his drink on the Wii U and it stopped working. Fortunately, all the games that we lost through that later came out on Switch, like Mario Kart 8 and Breath of the Wild. I missed. We want to get up first because there's a teleport pad. Now there's only a few Zelda games I have not played, but I'll admit Skyward Sword is one that I haven't played yet. I did not trust that one. That cycle. I remember it coming out back when I was in... But it came out earlier than when I was in middle school, I think. Not sure. But I do have it for the Wii. I do not have the Switch remaster. But I remember talking with a friend of mine who was absolutely obsessed with it when I was in middle school. And there was a critical bug that if you saved in or about a certain part of the game, it would corrupt your save file. And the rumor had it that it would corrupt your Wii too, but I'm not sure if that was ever actually confirmed. And I'm sure by now that that would have been patched out in later releases. And of course, us being middle school guys, one of the biggest reasons that he loved it so much was that there was finally implied romance between Link and Zelda. That was what really sold him on the game. I've got... I don't even want to know how many hours in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Those have been my absolute favorite games. and I've completed both 100%. And your reward for getting 100% is literally nothing. But just me being me, I wanted to. Another game that is for the Switch that I've absolutely loved is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Kirby is another series that I've played a lot over the years. Yes. I mean, okay, so you know the little Koroks? It has been confirmed. Oh yeah, here's the boss. It's been confirmed that the gifts that the Koroks give you are literally Korok turds. And the final gift you get for collecting either 900 or 1,000, depending on which game you play, is Hestu's turd. So, you know, you go around the map collecting all these Koroks, saving all 900 of them throughout the world, and that is their present to you. I mean, I can't really say what I would hope a reward would be, but I really enjoyed the final reward from the DLC in Breath of the Wild. And I'm very sad that that was not in Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, I don't know if you're into Kirby at all, but I highly recommend the new Kirby Switch game. Came out a couple years ago. Yes, the Kirby one. And I won't spoil it, but Ego's way more than Car. Especially during the final boss. Yes. So last time I was here, I gave these guys the broken legendary sword, which Vati broke in a quest for power. He's looking for an ancient power that he doesn't know where it is. And he thought it was in the sword, but it's not. And these guys are telling us to go back to Hyrule Castle to infuse the two elements that we found. Those guys are Minish, or as they call themselves, or as the humans call them, Picori, but they call themselves the Minish, and those are the Minish of the mountain. And I'll tell you, earlier when I was messaging you that I was going to be going live soon, my phone would not type out the word Minish. I tried to swipe it, and it's like, oh yeah, that's not a word. You probably mean Monish or Ministry. And so I type it out letter by letter, and then it's like, surely you mean minister. Like, no, I mean what I'm typing. Oh yeah, in that regard, I will say I am well known for the worst typos. Are you sure I look alright? I never know what to wear to formal occasions. Yeah, this is a sarcastic hat. It's what we all need. My typos literally one time cost me a friendship. Because I was trying to say something completely innocent to a female friend of mine. And just a 2-letter typo. Look, see how the doorway glows? Could that be the legendary door? Yes, this is the sanctuary door. My just 2 letters changed the sentence from completely innocent to something that you should never ask someone. And she blocked me before I could fix the sentence. Which, it's been long enough, like, it doesn't really hurt my feelings anymore. But yeah, if you ever see me say something completely unhinged and weird, know that I have a tendency for terrible typos. Powers of earth and fire elements have infused your blade. And so naturally we must look for all 4 elements. And become the Avatar. Fill your sword with power and walk over the glowing tile. So this is the main gimmick of the game, besides shrinking and growing, is the more you upgrade your sword, the more clones you can create, which they only last for a couple seconds, and they're mostly just used to press buttons or push large levers. I believe what we do next is go out in the Hyrule field and Vati tries to trap us. It's funny that the royals of Hyrule just don't care that Link is wandering around the castle. Interesting. You're the last person I expected to find here. Just as I was wondering who could be behind all this, I find my old master. And this is Vati. And as always, you're dressed in the shabbiest of rags. My curses are not to be mocked. The one I cast on you is most powerful. No matter what power you wield, you will never be able to break it. You haven't changed in the slightest. I should have never created that cap. It only fueled your insane desires. Fool, a hat that grants the wishes of its wearers is a spectacular creation. Thanks to you, I have gone from being a meek, minuscule being to the greatest sorcerer alive. You cannot stop me now, and I have you to thank for that. Accept this small gesture of gratitude from me. What could he be scheming now? I feel I owe you an explanation of what has happened. You see, Vati and I are both Minish. I was once a famous sage and a renowned Minish craftsman. Vati was only a boy when I took him as my apprentice, but he became enchanted by wickedness in the hearts of men. One day Vati took a hat that I had made for humans, my pride and joy. It granted the wishes of its wearer. He put it on without permission. Vati, what are you doing here? Oh, what a vile form you've taken. Vile? I'm a sorcerer now, and my power is beyond compare. None can stop me. Why, Vati? What are you plotting? I can't speak. This year, on the day that becomes once a century, the portal opens, and when it does, I shall claim the light force as my own. I will be transformed, perfect, and there will be none who can stop me. And now he's a hat. Tell me, how does it feel, my sorcerer's curse? There's nothing that you can do to break it, Eslo, nor stop me. And with that, I must be leaving. And we later found Eslo in the woods being attacked by random creatures. You know the legends, of course, the gifts of the Picori. The gifts the Picori gave the humans. What you call the Picori blade was the first of those gifts. The second, well, you call it light force, was the source of limitless magical power. If Vati were to get it now, it would be devastating. I came to the world of men hoping to stop Vati, and I met you in the woods. But it seems we won't be breaking the curse on me anytime soon. However, with the sacred blade, we can certainly restore Princess Zelda. I'm sorry, all that has happened has been due to my own pride, my folly. I must rely on you, on your power, until we put an end to Vati. Well, enough fairy tales. We must search for the next element. Now there's an interesting little thing here. Next place we're supposed to go is a swamp. And we can't actually pass over the waters of the swamp yet. Because we need the Pegasus boots. Or basically the dashing boots. And the way we get those is through a boots salesman. But the cutscene to make him fall asleep only triggers if you either drown in the swamp or read a certain sign, and reading the sign is much faster. What a strange feeling. I sensed something from the castle's direction, or was it just me? As to Vati, how did you get in here? Why the king is not under guard, I don't know. Looks like you're all here. Very well. The King of Hyrule has words for you. You all know the power that the Picori gave to mankind, do you not? The golden light force of limitless magical power. I want it. It's somewhere here in Hyrule. Now go and bring me this power. Waste no time. Go forth at once and bring me the light force. Fling anyone who refuses into the dungeon, him and his family too. I will tolerate no disobedience. I'll search high and low throughout the lands of Hyrule. There seems to be an imposter among us. So if I just... Never mind. I accidentally destroyed the sign instead of reading it. So this is the swamp. Hey, watch your feet. You're sinking. You sink all the way in, I'm going to get muddy. I don't think we can just walk across this swamp. We're going to have to find some way to get across safely. But we can't discuss it. But we can discuss it later. Get me out of here now. So that's one of the two triggers to, I guess, get the Hyrule Village into its next state. If I come in here, there's a sleepy guy. He makes boots. Even some human objects are portals to the Minish world. Those Minish may not look like much, but they're quite crafty. Now the thing is, whenever he falls asleep, these 3 Minish are the ones actually doing all of the work. And so he thinks he's just creating boots and clothing in his sleep, and what's really happening is Minish help. I guess they are quite crafty. And so the Minish are directing us to a place where we can get a mushroom that will help wake this guy up. And then he'll give us the boots as a reward. Oh, I can go real quick down south. This guy will give us another sword attack. So previously he gave me the spin attack, and now I can break pots with my sword. I'll do something semi-risky. Upgrade my wallet. I say semi-risky because I don't know how many rupees I need to get the mushroom. I think it's like 80, but that shouldn't be too hard to get. Yeah, I need to go this way. I am losing my voice for some reason. So these people are missing their key to get into their home. In reality, they've locked themselves out. Our one and only spare key. So now we can go through their house and get to where we need to go. There's lots of cows around here. I like cows. Oh, I need to go and push this rock up here. I live by a place that has like so many farms and just horses, cows everywhere, and I absolutely love it. I went to a farm when I was probably 7 years old. Because the dog that we had grown beyond what our apartment would allow, and so we had to give the dog to a lady who worked at a farm. And I remember the trip not just for giving Rufus to a sweet old lady, but there was a pig there, an absolute giant pig. And my mom kind of reached her hand through the fence to, give it some scritches. And this pig started leaning against my mom's arm and crushed it into the fence. And she nearly broke her arm. My older brother had to grab a stick and start scratching the pig on the other side. So that it would lean that way, away from my mom's arm. But yeah, I'm a big animal person. It's 60 rupees. Okay. Shouldn't take me too long to get. I've always had, I guess, a weird aura with dogs and such. Dogs and babies. If I'm at Walmart or something, and a baby spots me, they just stare, like they're not sure what I am. And I've just started saying something like, "Oh, I'm funny looking, aren't I?" I should remember by now where to get some quick rupees. But I don't. But when babies stare, they're realizing other people exist. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about this in my testimony video, but I was trouble as a kid. Not that I was, like, rebellious, but I was so severely autistic that if someone even looked me in the eye, I would start screaming. Heaven forbid someone touch me. It was my mom, my oldest brother, my dad, and one family friend. And aside that, I didn't want anyone. Don't look at me, don't interact with me, don't try to pick me up or pinch my cheek or anything. And that's part of why I was homeschooled throughout elementary school. Because I literally could not socialize. And my parents, who both had, some degree of autism as well. My parents homeschooled me and taught me social interaction, putting others first, caring for people, emotional intelligence, everything like that. And I would not be where I am without them. I mean, even beyond that, like, again, I'll touch more on this in the testimony video, but my dad was given a 1 in 265,000 chance of ever having a child, and he had 3 just to prove them wrong. It wasn't enough that there's me, but the next time it was twins. And then when I was in the womb, they did an ultrasound of my mom, and they discovered that 2/3 of my brain was being taken up by a cyst. And they used a certain R word that is not generally acceptable nowadays. I mean, not that I care about getting canceled, but, you know, that's the word that they used back then. They said I was going to be profoundly dumb. I might be able to learn my name and a couple colors or shapes, but I would never be, social, never functional. And they told my mom she needed to have an abortion, and she said, I don't care if my baby is born without a head. God made this baby, and I'm gonna have him. And every time they went back and did another scan, that cyst had shrunk. And by the time I was born, it was gone. About 10 years ago, I was having trouble with migraines, and they did a scan of my head just to make sure nothing was wrong, and there was literally no trace that there had ever been a cyst or anything there. And I've asked a couple of people here and there throughout the years, do I seem like someone who has autism to you? And typically they tell me no. I did go to public middle school, which was a nightmare. I mean, it's a nightmare for everyone, but I had a severe medical problem that came up during my 6th grade year that has taken me over 10 years to get over. I did not mean to drop a bomb in that guy's house. Whoops. Oh, I've got the boots. Now I can go and talk to the swordsman again, and he'll give me a special charge. But yeah, my parents are nothing if not committed to loving their children. And I'm so grateful for both of them. Oh, I'm trying to press the L button, which is what you use to charge in the Minish cap randomizers, and it's not working, and I'm wondering why. This isn't a randomizer. But now I can charge across this. And so in the southwest corner, there's 3 statues. And those 3 statues need 3 golden kinstones to let me pass. And those 3 golden kinstones are hidden throughout the swamp. I'm still over here trying to press L to sprint. I didn't intend for that double bomb strap, but it worked really well. It was actually a complete accident that I placed 2. So that's the first of the 3. There's a new item that I get in the swamp here. And it has to do with these angry-looking, one-eyed statues. And I always found it strange how you got this, because there's normally like a very remarkable side quest that you have to do to get the bow. And in this game, it's just hidden in a hole in the middle of a swamp. Oh gosh, that was weird. I just like walked sideways in a cutscene. Now that I'm coming back through here, there's buggers. Little bugs everywhere. Well, there's supposed to be. Oh no, I'm thinking of a certain other place. That you go through it once and you're fine, and you go through a second time. And, there's, like, gnats everywhere. Go there. I think I do. Who cares about actually defeating it? Just walk right through it. Yeah, there's a funny little thing in this game. If you... Wait, I'm going the wrong way. If you roll at a certain time, you can just use invincibility frames and fly right through enemies. So the way I've been running this... Come in here and grab this heart piece. And yeah, there's a ghost here, but we really don't care about him right now. The way I've been running this is I'm playing until I get to the next dungeon each episode. And it's probably going to be another 10 minutes or so before I reach the third dungeon, but I am really losing my voice for some reason, and so I think that is going to be a good place to stop. To go... Yeah, despite the fact that we've already dealt with these guys, he still says his little spiel up there when you encounter that one. Yeah, this is where I need to go. No, it's not. This is like my first time playing this game in years that I'm not playing it on a randomizer. And so I'm so used to the randomizer routes and all that kind of stuff. There's the second. I think there's a tornado or something down here that I need to jump into. To be honest, I cannot remember how to get down there. Oh yeah, there it is, duh. Right next to it. I'm used to playing the game, I'm not used to playing the game in front of other people. And so these are kinstones, and you fuse with others to make fun things happen. And in this case, fun things is opening up this path. There's 4 types of kinstones. Green are common, blue are uncommon, red are rare. And then there's gold, which are for special occasions and cutscenes and such. Hello, Bronson. Glad to see new faces around here. I'm currently just playing Zelda. And I'm coming up on the 3rd dungeon, and once I enter it, I'm probably going to end stream just because I am actively losing my voice. Oh, thank you for your participation. Yeah, I've played this game so many times. This is my first time playing it in years that I'm not playing a randomizer. But yeah, I went to 2 different grocery stores today. Yeah, I'm definitely staying hydrated. I've got refrigerated water, and got a little bit of a drinking problem. If I have a bottled drink, well, this snake does not want to let me through. Well, I can anyway. If I have a bottled drink, I just want to drink it all the time. And because of that, I've recently quit soda. Which, as a former diabetic, I didn't realize I was diabetic until I had gone to the doctor for a completely unrelated reason. And Mountain Dew was like a comfort drink to me. It brought me a lot of peace somehow. But yeah, if I try to go through here, this guy runs and blocks the way, so I have to disable him. I went to the doctor for a completely unrelated reason, and my A1Cs were like 14.6, which means my average blood sugar daily was 145. And I'm like, okay, my dad almost died because of a diabetic coma. I'm done. Like, I am not drinking a single carbonated drink anymore. And after a few years, I did go back and start drinking Sprite again. Yeah, I'm working on a video which will talk about, briefly, my dad's diabetic coma. They said he wouldn't live through it, but he did anyway. And he told my mom upon coming out of it that I can't die without marrying you first. So this is the 3rd dungeon. I'm gonna do a couple things here just to finish the story, but yeah, there was a little hiccup. They were taking both blood sugars and urinary sugars, because I had an infection at the time. And that's all the detail I'll give about that. But, the nurse just walked in and told the other nurse, sugars are 1045. And I said, 1045? Sugars, you said? He said, yeah. And that was about the blood sugar level that had almost killed my dad. And that's part of why I decided to quit. But it turns out she was talking about urinary sugars, not blood sugars. And so, like, sitting there in the doctor, I'm like, am I literally on the verge of death right here? Because of this Mountain Dew. And so, yeah. As to my parents' story, they met in college, and funny thing, my dad was actually the photographer at my mom's first wedding. Which, it's not my story to tell where that went. She may at some point, but you know, it's something that I obviously don't hold against her because that's just not cool. But yeah, I've had a fair share of health issues over the years, but I have been aggressively taking care of myself this year. Am I supposed to do in this room? I forget. Gosh. I am brushing my teeth every day, taking walks every day. A lot of stuff that I just wasn't doing before. Okay, it looks like this is the only way I can go, so I just... This is about where my, like, memory of every little thing to do leaves me for the game. And I have to, like, remember where certain things are. But yeah, I've been to 2 grocery stores today, and that's probably why I'm losing my voice a bit. Went to 2 because one of them didn't have the medical stuff we need, and the other didn't have the milk we need. Because the main grocery store that we went to got destroyed in the hurricane. Well, not really destroyed, but destroyed on the inside. And so... Oh gosh, you can probably hear my dogs. My dogs. But they've still yet to open up their cold sections because it's still under construction. My advice to to like getting your health intact is, this especially helps those who are single. Take care of yourself as if you are you're about to, go on a date and like meet her parents or whatever. That's the level of care you want to have for yourself, because if you don't love yourself for yourself, it's hard to, get that love anywhere else or give that love. You really got to care for yourself too, and care for yourself for yourself. God made your body, and you have an obligation to care for it, honestly. So, brush your teeth and take your vitamins, that kind of thing. I think it is faster to go left here, and I think that's just a map, so I don't really need it. I've struggled with multiple bad habits throughout the years. It wasn't just the Mountain Dew. I got really underweight at one point, and then I got really overweight afterwards. I will deal with that bot in just a second. There we go. But yeah, I've been on both sides of underweight and overweight, and I know it can be hard to balance it out. But especially as someone who is as picky an eater as I am. I don't want to be picky, but I am, because I just have such a high texture sensitivity. And now I get the mole mitts, so I can dig around. There's actually a funny little thing you can do with the mole mitts, because outside of Link's house, there's a certain tile that no matter how many times you do it, if you dig that tile up, it will have 20 rupees. And then you can just go into Link's house, come back out, and dig it up again and get another 20 rupees. I absolutely love it. A very addictive personality. I get addicted to water. Yeah, like I was saying, if I have a drink that I am holding, I want to drink it. There's a certain ladder or something. There's a particular red kinstone that I need in this dungeon that's a guaranteed drop, and I can't remember which one it is. I think that's the one I just picked up. Check. Got 2 of the 3 reds, so I can just hope it's one of them. think what I do now is go south of here. I do hope what I was saying about drinking problem was, clearly a pun. I've actually never, or not really a pun, just a joke. I've never actually drank alcohol. I'm not against it. It's just not my thing. I need to go right, but I'm missing a key. But yeah, I stick to drinking water to the best of my ability. I do love milk. And there's no guarantee of that. So, a little backstory on my family. My grandmother was irradiated by an atomic bomb. So, I don't know what my health is like, what it's gonna entail. That might be it. Yeah, so she was one of the lucky army brats who got to go out with her grandpa and watch the nuclear testing when she was a little girl. And they didn't know how dangerous that was. And so it's caused a myriad of health issues for everyone in the family since. Somewhere I was supposed to pick up a key, and I didn't. But yeah, in some ways I've gained superpowers from that, because, like, I've got EDS, so my thumbs can bend backwards. And I can't have an MRI because I can feel magnetism, and it's quite painful. It's painful in, like, high levels of magnetism can be painful. If it's just like picking up a magnet, I feel a little... Oh, you think so? If it's just like a small magnet in my hand, I feel like a little buzz. I'm clearly supposed to do something here. I don't remember what it is. I only know one other person that can feel magnetism, and that's my oldest brother. Oh, duh. I see what I'm supposed to do. Never mind. I could have had this done 15 minutes ago. These are electrical systems, and autistic people are more sensitive to those systems. Yeah, I can see that. I probably got the bulk of the health issues, but I'm glad that's the case among my brothers, because I would not want them to go through what I have and what my dad has. My dad was terminally ill before I was even alive. And they said in 2006 that he wouldn't live to see his newborn babies walk. And he lived until they were 18. Or, no, until they were 14 and I was 19. Okay, I'm supposed to go to the blue warp, I'm thinking. No, I'm not. I'm supposed to go to the right to pick up the boss key. Okay, I'm remembering things. Oh yeah. I was just telling earlier about his, a little bit about his diabetic coma, where the woman in the room next to him in the hospital had her blood sugars in the 800s and she didn't survive it. But he somehow survived his blood sugars in the thousands. I think they were like 1200 or something. And, like, his mother had made funeral arrangements and everything. And he came out of it because God had other plans. You know, that could be, honestly... Dang it! That could honestly be, like, the title of my hypothetical biography. God had other plans. I have never had an issue with these wall masters, but now that I am playing the game in front of others, I do. There we go. Finally. Do I need to do... No. Oh, let me check that down here, because there's something in this room I always forget. Okay, so I need... Gonna be bottom left and top right, so I need to put them like this, I think. Yeah, Link is kind of backwards right now. Funny little glitch. It has... Well, for many years it had no use, but I think people have found a way to skew Link. so that he can, like, push an object and push himself out of bounds. And just, like, walk right through the geometry of certain levels. And I'm an idiot. I shouldn't say that, but I forget. Somehow, somewhere, I've lost another key. I'm supposed to get this first. That's what I forget. I did one half of the puzzle and forgot to do the other half. Let me get the top one first. That's the key I need. Do I actually need that? I don't think they can come up here. Wow, the cooldown on that bow is ridiculous. I don't know if that's different than it is in Randomizer, but definitely feels different. I'll go through here just in case I'm meant to anyway. Since it's obviously not there for nothing. I'm still awaiting them to actually acknowledge this game again, because, you know, they remade Link's Awakening. I really hope they remake this one too. And the Oracle games at that. Yes, I was meant to do something here. So I'm glad I did that. Possibly. I honestly have more hours in Link's Awakening than probably any other game except Minecraft. Between the original and Link's Awakening DX. And I played the Switch version once, but I just like the old ones better. Yeah, probably more than Tears of the Kingdom, too. Because I've been playing Link's Awakening literally for as long as I can remember. It was one of my first games, and I've just done everything in it. Now, Pokemon Crystal is also a game I've got more hours than I want to know in. That was my first Pokemon game. And I'm gonna say something controversial about Pokemon, but I don't mind the new generations. Sure, they're behind graphically for modern technology, but they're pretty fun. And I'm not huge on RPGs, so I just play Pokemon just for the nostalgia. And I don't like grindy games, for the most part. There are some grindy games that are fun, but if I'm just leveling up so I can go to the next area, because the enemies are too powerful there, I'm not gonna have fun with that. I want to brute force things. And I think also that Generation 4 is highly overrated. Just because it's so slow. And they fixed a lot of that with Platinum, I understand, but the problem with Platinum is... Okay, in my area, Pokemon Diamond... No, Pokemon... Yeah, Diamond is like $40 at GameStop. Pearl is like $5 more. And if you want a used copy of Pokemon Platinum, it's like $60. And if I'm gonna pay like $60 for a game that I've never played before, I want it to be like a new experience. And frankly, there's not much new in Pokemon. No offense to it, I really enjoy it. Now, on my map, which I can't get to right now, it shows that I'm supposed to get the wind element here. Also, I love the birds here, they're so cute. We are the tribe of the winds. Long have we lived with the winds. We have mastered them. Now we join them. Together with the great winds at our backs, we head for the skies. Those who come seeking the power must play the notes the Zephyr teaches. May they lead you onward to the power that you seek. So instead of getting the wind element, we get the Ocarina of Wind. I do believe this is where the tribe of the winds once lived, but they've left for the heavens and taken their element with them. It looks like the wind element is beyond our reach for the time being. We have no choice but to press on. Let's get out of here. The element was not here, but at least we now have a clue to its whereabouts. We must use the Ocarina of Wind to open a new path. There's no point in standing around. Let's get that last element. Now he says last element, but there's actually 2 elements left. And so the Ocarina of Wind now lets us fast travel to certain areas, including this, which is where we're meant to go next. Aha, so that mysterious mark we've been seeing is a wind crest. If you play the Ocarina of Wind, Zephyr comes to pick you up and fly you away. That means we can have Zephyr carry us to any other wind crest we've seen. I don't know why I just named Link A, but that's just what I do. Alright, I'm going to go rest my voice, drink lots of water, and do my nightly Bible reading and such. I hope you all have a blessed evening. Thank you for coming here. It means so much to me. And oh honey, I'm going to do this. You don't have to do anything, it's just like... There. You obviously don't have to moderate or anything. It's just like, something I do for my friends. So yeah, thank you for coming, and thank you both. Take care of yourselves, and love yourselves, because by the blood of Jesus, you are worth it. I love you, and I will see you all later. Thank you. Thank you.